Welcome to the Water Guys podcast. My name is Louis Borges. Joining me as always, my good friend, business partner, and overall good guy, Mr. Shane McCarthy.
Hello there. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Going to dispel some myths right now circulating around the world of hydrogen therapy devices. There are some companies taking liberties with facts that are simply not true, trying to make their system look like the only system in the world that's safe and effective to use, and that is total BS. And we don't want to name names or product bash or whatever, but we felt it necessary because this has been happening for a few months. We've been relatively silent about the fact of some of this information not being fully truthful, and we just thought we would educate everybody, as always, so that people can make better and more informed decisions when it comes to their health, the products they buy, how to avoid some pitfalls, and how to get the actual therapy that you're looking for. So,
I mean, listen, we got lots of products to sell you, but if we have to use crazy ass tactics and misinformation to sell you on them, then we're going to get out of business. But I can tell you this, we ain't going nowhere because we are here to help you make an informed decision for you, your family, or your clinic's health and wellness. And so, yeah, let's talk about some of the inflammatory.
Well, the metrics for hydrogen inhalation, and as we know, and if you've watched any of our previous episodes, there's several different ways you can get hydrogen therapy: drinking the water, inhaling the gas, bathing in it, saline IVs, which we don't really do. But the three main ones are drinking, inhaling, and bathing. There are various machines that are very good on the market, including ours and some other companies as well. And then there are a lot of products that fall short. You may have seen hydrogen water bottles that are now coming with these nasal cannulas, purportedly for inhalation. The amount of hydrogen that bottle produces in terms of a gas available for inhalation is far below what is considered therapeutic. Right now, the metric is saying anywhere between 120 milliliters per minute and 240 milliliters per minute, which is the flow rate of hydrogen gas, is what would be considered therapeutic. So if you look at some of these small hydrogen cubes that produce 150 mil to 300 mil. They also come with very cheap nasal cannulas that let the gas escape right through the tubing. By the time that machine, produces what it does, it goes through the cannula, mixes with air, and comes out at a lower percentage. You're really not getting a therapeutic dose. So I guess some of the controversy comes around comments that are being made that hydrogen machines are flammable. So to dispel the myth, hydrogen gas, pure hydrogen gas, is only flammable between 7% and 75% concentration. Yeah. Pure gas at 99% is not flammable. And machines, good quality machines on the market that produce 2 to 4% hydrogen are also not flammable. Now, this all stems from a medical report that happened, a decade or so ago. It was a lady in Asia, was using an undisclosed machine, so we have no idea the quality of it, whether it was a prototype or a production unit, where it was made. But essentially what happened is this machine was producing more hydrogen than it should have. There was a static shock. The lady had an event where the palate of her mouth sustained sort of a combustion fracture because of that. But again, wasn't a certified unit. There's no indication as to what type of unit, what was the flow rate, what was it made, was there any other causation in the area, smoking, things like that. But to dispel all this, 95% of every system on the market, not just ours, 95% of these systems are 100% safe. Yeah. They flow out at 4% or less. Doesn't matter if it's 4% in a shoebox, 4% entire room, or 4% beside your fireplace. It is not flammable at 4%. There are some people out there going around saying that their system is the only safe system because it contains the hydrogen in either a breather type system, a bag, or something called pulse breathing, right?
Wouldn't a bag of hydrogen in collecting the bag of it, wouldn't that in theory be more flammable than being just created from the membrane and coming straight from the membrane with no buildup of hydrogen.
Yeah. So you're referring to collection systems or direct flow systems. Difference being a direct flow system produces a fixed level of hydrogen and oxygen out of the machine. It's the same flow rate all the time. Whatever it mixes with air comes out at 4%, non-flammable, goes through your cannula, and you then inhale that as part of your normal therapy. There are some systems out there that will collect the gas in a bag or a balloon type device in between breaths, but essentially you're not intaking all the hydrogen, more is being added, and that's affecting the dilution and the actual percentage. So yes, in theory, a bag of hydrogen collecting in your machine has a far greater risk of being explosive than a direct flow system. But at 4%, it doesn't matter what system we're talking about, hydrogen is not flammable. So it is basically just a lie. It is false information being used to propagate the sales by one or two players in this field, and it's unfair to other companies.
It's flammable, but in very certain conditions.
Right.
You know, and what we are doing and how we are helping people all around the world, there's no risk whatsoever in that. And again, if there was, I wouldn't be stamping my name on this product. And also there wouldn't be thousands of these machines going out around the world every day. You know, this is exploding, not pun not intended. It is exploding though, because of the potential and the therapeutic benefits that people are getting from hydrogen. And, you know, we get to experience them all day, every day with the technology that we have. And I've never been at risk of blowing up or lighting on fire, you know.
Exactly. This is basically what we're talking about here. So these are facts, okay? Hydrogen is flammable only within a specific concentration range. As we mentioned, between 7 and 75%. Good quality systems flowing out at 4% do not have any flammability risk, regardless of how you want to slice and dice the verbiage or how companies want to market their product as being the only safe and effective product. That is total BS. It really is. It's a shame to see that companies are not focusing on the features and benefits of their product, but rather slander and misinformation. And we really don't need that in this world. Hydrogen therapy, a lot of it is in response to a lack of good information in the health field. People are sick. The stuff they've been prescribed and the modalities used by Western medicine for years simply don't work for certain things. A lot of people are seeing benefit. So that in itself, hydrogen therapy is in response to a lack of good information and good therapies on the market. The last thing we need is people passing false information to dilute what is what in the world of actual beneficial therapy.
Yeah, it's as someone that's been doing this for 13 years and, you know, with a really, really burning desire and passion to help people out. It is frustrating to see that type of marketing techniques being used. You're not helping anyone. And we are here to help people. And, you know, I get it, though it is new, you know, it is new to people. There's a lot to understand, you know, but there's a, you know, I gotta say the gentleman that we met at the home show, that the, you know, environmental engineer, he says to his dad, "Oh, no, it's snake oil." I'm like, "What makes you say that?" And, "Oh, I'm an environmental engineer and I've been studying water for years." I'm like, "Okay, well, I've been studying hydrogen since before you hit puberty." So, you know, there's things.
Yeah, and like, you know, we have neurosurgeons and people that have gone to school for 15 years that have way more credentials that are showing the benefits of hydrogen. So some people need to stay in their lane.
Molecular biologists, you know, the hydrogen in the environment is different than hydrogen for your body. And I understand that you might think that water is, you know, being that it's used with water being one of the delivery methods. I get it. But, you know, take a seat, Junior.
Yeah. And again, we get a lot of this too. I mean, like that when anything new comes out, you have a lot of people throwing, you know, salt or throwing shade on it, saying, it's nonsense. But a lot of these people are misinformed
Yeah.
just because they don't understand or haven't done the same level of research as others. You know, a lot of
Which
the modalities we take for granted today, like cold plunges or, you know, red light therapy, people laughed at that too and said, what are you, crazy? You're
absolutely.
going to sit in front of some red lights and it's going to help you? Actually,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Actually, yes. If it's done
I
right,
just, speaking of the home show, I just came from one of the chiropractors that I met there in a wellness place here in Maple Ridge that wants to incorporate our hydrogen therapy systems, especially for inhalation, in her recovery room, where she has a big, huge red light panel that she had an eczema rash on her her shin that had just from 3 sessions gone down. And so it's just like, okay, for one, all of this stuff has actually been around for a very, very long time. We're just rediscovering it. And I mean, we're just it's while the misinformed, the new to the game people that are kind of, they're excited about things and are learning and stuff, that's great. I understand when there's misinformation that comes from that side of things, but I think it's much more dangerous when you have the people that are very educated in this giving misinformation, i.e. the environmental engineer that said, immediate snake oil. Well, obviously you're smart. You didn't go through university and become an engineer from not being an educated and intelligent person. But, that doesn't give you that level, that doesn't mean everything.
yeah.
And for people that do educate people and have a high level in the hydrogen therapy world, to be misinforming people, that's dangerous.
Yeah, they're using their influence to profit rather than to benefit, like what may start
That's
off
right.
as a humanitarian effort or something that's like for the good of all quickly turns into a business scheme to deface everybody else and to make it look like you're the only one in the world that has the solution. And that in itself is snake oil when somebody's telling you, no,
Mm-hmm.
we have water systems and companies that sell water systems telling everybody that theirs is the only true. I mean, we've been dealing with that for decades.
Yeah.
This has been around for 30 years in Japan. Go to Japan, go to any nursing home, any hospital. They have hydrogen drinking water, hydrogen inhalation. This is nothing new for them. I have an 87-year-old Korean neighbor and he has a water ionizer. I can see it through his window. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, where did you get that? Oh, in Korea, we use these, they're very good for your health. And like, this is not news when we tell somebody who's familiar with this. It's just news now in North America because
and in Asia and Korea, Japan, any ionizer that creates water that is 8.5 pH alkaline and above is automatically classified and graded as a medical device. And that's right. I mean, that's the that's what really why we do what we do, is because there is a ton of misinformation. And our job isn't to sell our products, it's to inform you, give you the information so that you know what you're looking for, and whether you go with our products or not is completely up to you. I do talk to people that, I got this, this company's products. It's like, hey, man, I'm glad that you're at least experiencing hydrogen. Like, if you have any questions or need any help, let me know. And I'm here. That's where I'm at for this. I'm just excited to see hydrogen becoming and being so recognized in the wellness and medical community. As when I first started learning about it, there's about 350 studies on it. Now there's over 3,000, and it's just more and more and more coming out because the time has been taken to do these and take these studies. And, I having looked through a lot of these studies, I can't see all of them, but that's the balance it helps people restore is really, really massive when it comes to the overall long-term health.
Yeah, there really isn't another modality as safe as hydrogen. There is no toxic limit, doesn't interfere with medications or other therapies that you're doing. You can
Yeah.
do it as often or inoften as you like. And everybody is going to experience something different based on the state of health they're currently in. People
Yeah.
that have a lot of imbalances are going to feel it the most because they have the most out of whack, so to speak.
Yeah.
High level athletes and people in good shape are basically preventing future disease, helping with recovery. They're getting that extra 1%. And when you're an elite level athlete, Olympians and things like that, 1% is massive because the difference between first and second is usually less than 1%. So that is the huge edge that some of these people can have that doesn't involve drugs or things that are banned, certain substances. You know, they got to be careful what they take because you could be disqualified from an event just from taking an antihistamine because you had a runny nose and things like that. So the safety profile is unmatched. The amount of applications, there's nothing else like it. I mean, even vitamin C, we all know it's good. It's it's an antioxidant. Too much vitamin C is toxic. Well, there's no such thing as too much toxicity with hydrogen. Hydrogen doesn't, clean sweep all your free radicals. It's selective. And you look at inflammation being the basis of most of our disease and poor cellular health. When you reestablish cellular balance, everything happens. You get better energy, better sleep, better gut health, less brain fog, better mood. You realize that your gut and your brain are connected. A lot of people's depression and anxiety comes from poor gut health. And Dr. Stephen Gundry, world-renowned doctor, very big on the world. And yes, he sells products and things too. Like, it is what it is. But he's a proponent of hydrogen. Andrew Huberman, what is he, like a neurophysician or something? Neuroscientist?
He's a professor at Stanford.
But he has like medical degrees, right? He's not a lightweight. He knows what he's talking about. Gary Brecka, who's not a doctor but still very educated and knowledgeable on this topic.
Dr. Rangan Chatterjee in the UK, him and I have been talking a lot. There's lots of people that are really understanding now. And, I've been studying it for a long time, long enough to know and experiencing it enough to know that, it's incredible as an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, all the different uses of it and stuff like that. The balance it reestablishes, but my favorite thing is the safety of it. Not only of the molecule itself, I can drink as much of it as I want. I can breathe as much of it in as I want. I can bathe in it. I bathe my 1.5-year-old son in it every single night. The safety that we as a Tech for Health as a company provide with our Tech Pro series by allowing you to safely bubble it or provide the gas from the machine into the bathtub with the 10-foot tube that we include with every single machine. That is also a big part of the safety too, is making sure you don't have to have your machine right near the bathtub. To hear people say or be concerned about it not being safe, it's valid. Sure. But where that information is coming from is disappointing, because that's really the name of the game for us is safety, and for the molecule, it is as safe as it gets. You cannot overdose. I can breathe it in for 10 hours, and any hydrogen that my body doesn't need, I'll just expel it right out. It is safe.
And remember this too. Our gut naturally produces hydrogen gas. This is not a foreign substance to our body. 10,000 years ago, when our gut bacteria was totally different based on our diets and environment, we were producing about 4 liters a day of hydrogen gas. So it was our body's own safety mechanism for detoxing and removing free radicals. Now, in the world we live in, high toxicity, processed foods, nobody has good gut health. Even people that have good gut health, it's not like it was. So
it's like BC having good water in comparison to Flint, Michigan.
Exactly. Yeah. It's on what scale are you measuring?
Yeah, it's better. You might have better gut health, but there's death by 1,000 cuts. We have too many things coming at us right now and have for decades. And so we're, righting some wrongs. But people aren't creating the amount of hydrogen that they should be in their guts.
Yeah, we're basically deficient. So this is a way to replenish what our bodies should normally be making anyway. And another thing too, we put a
Yeah.
lot of effort into making full spectrum devices so
Yeah.
that you don't have to buy a hydrogen water system, a hydrogen inhalation system,
Yeah.
a hydrogen bath system. We have systems that do everything. You invest the money and you have eye therapy, ear therapy, drinking water, bathing water, inhalation, hydrogen, oxygen, Brown's gas. So
No,
we've done our best to make it affordable. And I mean, there's companies in another country that sell similar system to ours, not with as many goodies as we throw in, but the main chassis is the same. They're double the price.
Yeah.
Like I think we're 3,200 US and there's 65 to 7,000 US.
Yeah. And one of the most important goodies that you get with the purchase from Tech for Health, quite honestly, is us. The level of support and service that we provide is unmatched. And it's because we have a purpose here, and that is to make this world a better place. And I do want to touch on another thing while we're dispelling myths about when the hydrogen and brain health, because yes, hydrogen does very much promote brain health, but there's a lot of people that are in the hydrogen water game, or I should say alkaline water game, thinking that they have hydrogen in the water. But if you're hearing someone say that hydrogen water, talking about hydrogen water and how hydrogen is going to permeate the blood-brain barrier, there's some misconceptions there. Will hydrogen permeate the blood-brain barrier? Yes, absolutely. From water? No. Will drinking hydrogen-rich water help your brain health? Yes, because of the gut-brain axis. And like Louis said earlier, but for hydrogen to permeate the blood-brain barrier, that comes from inhalation. And that's because you inhale it and it goes straight into your lungs, goes through your blood, goes right into your blood. The blood acts kind of like a Trojan horse for the hydrogen, and that's how it passes the blood-brain barrier so damn easily. There is a couple of other ways as well, going into what you just mentioned about applying it topically. I just came from the optometrist. Not just came, a couple of days ago. I had an appointment with the optometrist, and we looked at you doing all sorts of pictures and scans. You can see the back of your eye. And he's like, oh, that's dark spot there. That's what you want to see. That's what goes into your brain. And so when you're using the eye accessory that comes with every one of the Tech Pro series machines, you're actually allowing for the hydrogen to get into your brain that way. So that's actually another way that hydrogen permeates the blood-brain barrier. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the list is do your own research. Again, like anything, we don't take
believe a word we say.
All of our systems are third-party tested too, so that we never make a claim that it's not like a trust me, bro, like a lot of other companies out there. We know what the scientific metric is. We have a system that exceeds that metric. And then we have a third-party lab test confirming that, in fact, yes, this system does do what we say it's doing. So there's never an issue of, you have to take our word for anything. We only sell verified products that deliver therapeutic levels. And we try to do it as close to a wholesale price as we possibly can to get it out there. I mean, we sell hydrogen tablets and we lose money. But for many people, that's their first experience with hydrogen water, and it works. And it opens their eyes. So a lot of this is not just about making money. There's many ways we can make money. This is about helping people, and helping people first. The money comes second. When you help enough people, your business thrives. We don't advertise. We have zero ad budget. Our only way of getting future business is word of mouth, referrals, and repeats. And we're doing quite well just based on that. So if our service wasn't there, if the products weren't effective, we sold doctors, clinicians, scientists. These are not stupid people. They would know if it was snake oil. And a lot of these people are very high-level athletes that are very in tune with their bodies. They know when they're feeling an improvement and when they're not, right? They can micro adjust their workout to exact the effects that they're looking for. So again, these are not just dumb people. This is not placebo effect of, we were at the trade show. We had a lady who sells silk beside us. We had back massagers on the other side. We had dog food treats across from us and a chiropractor. I don't know how many times they came to our booth to get another tablet of hydrogen water, because they were like, man, I can feel it. Like my skin feels tingly. Like I should be exhausted now. I got 2 hours sleep, but I feel amazing. You can't make this stuff up.
No, and also I will say this because we were at the show. My Tech Pro 900 stayed there the whole weekend, and I noticed the difference in my son's skin from not having that hydrogen there for his bath. And so, I mean, I continue to prove it to myself over and over. I've been through, different waves of health myself. I mean, at this point, I just turned 40 and I'm the healthiest I've ever been by a mile. And, I have hydrogen, my water, as the foundation to thank for that. I mean, I do it's a lifestyle, right? We're not sitting here, and I'm not going to say that, come breathe the hydrogen in, it's going to change your life. Like there's aspects, a part of your life. What I will do is enhance everything that you're trying to do for your health. So that's all I got to say. For those out there educating people on hydrogen, do it the right way.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I'll put this slide up here. Let's just go through it real quickly. So as we mentioned, the flammability is between 7 and 75%. Any system flowing at 4% is not flammable. We'll say that again. 4% is not flammable. I don't care who's giving you the information, what fake credentials or, self-bolstering they're doing, that they're the know-it-all, the only source on hydrogen. BS. 4% is not flammable. It doesn't matter if it's a thimble or a goddamn warehouse. It is not flammable at 4%. No. You can tell we're passionate and fired up over this here. Let's just compare real quick, high quality systems versus low quality. So in terms of concentration, a high quality system will give you 4%, which is below the flammability of 7. Low quality systems are often 5 to 10 because they're not gauging it very well. So there really is no way to know what's coming out of those machines, and therein lies a potential danger. Good news is that is less than 5% of the systems on the market. Ask for third-party testing if you're concerned. Ask what the flow rate is. Does it have a CE certification, a ROSE? Any type of national certification will certainly help with that. Build quality materials. So, for example, a lot of systems include cheap plastic nasal cannulas. It's vinyl. It is not inert. It's off-gassing fumes, and the hydrogen goes right through it. Our systems and several others include medical-grade silicone, which can be boiled, sanitized. There is no loss, and there is no risk of any, hydrocarbon-based, oil-based products getting into your system. Good systems have built-in flashback arresters, check valves, flow restrictors, all the high-tech sciencey stuff. Basically, good systems have protections, poor ones don't. As I mentioned, testing and certification is huge. And transparency, clear specifications. Every one of our products, we tell you exactly what it does, the flow rate, all the scientific data behind it. Customer support is here. We're easy to access and contact. It's not just to sell a product and we never hear from you again. And then the main takeaways being below the flammability limit is what you want. Continuous flow is better than storage. Hydrogen delivered at a continuous flow at low concentrations has no risk. But again, storing that or increasing that concentration, in theory, if you're breathing from a bag and you're not exhausting the bag completely every time, the hydrogen concentration now gets changed, and in fact, it could increase. So systems that trap hydrogen are less safe than those that don't and are direct flow. Another thing to keep in mind, hydrogen is the smallest molecule in the universe. It quickly dissipates. That's why when you make hydrogen water, you need to drink it relatively quickly. When you're bathing in it, you need a high enough flow system that can pump it in the bathing water faster than it can escape. But that's how it also works. When you ingest hydrogen, it quickly wants to escape your body. In the meantime, it interacts and bonds with things like free radicals, neutralizes them. So because it dissipates so quickly, therein lies the therapy. And then multiple layers of safety. And I'll obviously follow the best practice, use it in well-ventilated areas, do all the safe stuff, don't smoke, things like that, and do your research.
Don't smoke anyways, but
yeah. So that's basically all I've got in terms of hydrogen. We'll give you the last word here, Shane. We'll keep it short for today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the this half hour of us going through this. I mean, that's the thing, is there is a lot to know, and there's a lot still emerging with hydrogen, and so trust your gut with which is kind of hard to do with the amount of damage that we've done to our guts, but
trust your damaged gut. It's telling you it needs hydrogen.
Trust me, bro. No, honestly, don't believe anything that we say here. Research everything that we say. Look it up and make this decision for yourself. It's important. It's important for you and your family's health, or if you're a clinician or a doctor, it's really important for what you're recommending to your patients and guests and clients, and however you address them. You know, we're here to help. We're here to fulfill our purpose. That's why we have the products that we have, priced the way that we do. Let's have a discussion so that you can get that information across to you, whichever way you want to go.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more about hydrogen therapy, you can visit our website, tech4health.ca. We also have a resources tab on there that is not from us. It is from verifiable sources, studies. Basically,
we're not scientists.
What is hydrogen, as well as advanced people that know quite a bit about it, and also glean some info from that. And then you can check out all of our products. They're all safe, tested. We have all of the stats, and 99% of the questions you may have will be answered by reading the description or going through our visual slides. And for everything else, you can reach out and email us. And
we're here to help.
And if you want to get some of this beautiful hydrogen therapy for yourself and you want to save a bit of money, you can use discount code WaterGuys10, and that'll save you 10%. And you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram. And if you want to be notified next time we do a podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us your comments below. Give us a thumbs up, all the good usual stuff. And that's that. So for today, thank you, everybody, for your time and attention. Be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.